Hi everyone, I'm Ranger Elise.
I'm Ranger Declan.
And we are the Allegheny County Park Rangers. So we work in the 9 county parks, which are spread around the city of Pittsburgh. And we are in the parks to help the visitors. So if you have any questions, if you need any information, if you need help with anything, we are there to help. We also help to care for the parks. So sometimes we clean up the parks, we build new trails in the parks, we plant trees in the parks. One of our favorite things to do is teach about the parks. Sometimes we bring people to the parks and teach there. Sometimes we visit different locations and teach about the parks there. And sometimes we film videos in the parks so that you can learn along with us while we are here in one of the Allegheny County parks. So today we are going to learn about my favorite insect and our state insect, which is the lightning bug, otherwise known as the firefly. And their names are interesting because they don't really have anything to do with fire or lightning, and they are actually not a fly, but a beetle. And I have my little lightning bug friend right here, and lightning bugs are a type of insect. So they have body parts that all insects have. They have a head, a thorax where most of their muscles is, and an abdomen. They also have a specific number of legs. So all insects have 6 legs. We can see here on our lightning bug friend that he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. All insects also have antennae. And their antenna can help them to feel and to smell, can help them whenever they are flying around. And different kinds of insects have antennae that look differently depending on what they use them for. And all insects have really special eyes. So their eyes are called compound eyes, and they allow them to see in tiny little pieces that kind of get put together like a puzzle. So we see one big picture, and insects see lots of tiny little pieces of a picture that combine into one, and their vision also lets them be able to see flowers differently, maybe if they're looking for nectar and flowers, depending on what the kind of insect is. But our lightning bug has some really special body parts because it is a lightning bug, and Ranger Declan is going to go over what makes the lightning bug body parts so special.
So the lightning bug is a type of insect that's called a beetle. And beetles have a hard outer shell on their wings. And these hard outer shells protect those soft inner wings. And those soft wings are what they fly with. So it's sort of like having a shield on your soft wings to make sure that they're protected when you're not using them. And the firefly has patterns on the back of their wings. So their hard outer wings have these patterns. Sometimes they're all brown, some of them are completely black, but others have stripes of yellow down them. And these stripes can help us determine what exact type of firefly it might be. So some of them that we have around here during the winter time are called winter fireflies, and they have a completely black hard outer wing. But this one, the Pennsylvania firefly, has these stripe in the middle and the stripes on the side, and that's one way that we can tell up close that it's that type of firefly. So they also have a very special body part, and this is, to me, the most exciting part about lightning bugs, and it's their lantern. So that lantern is on the abdomen, the last part of their body, and their lantern can be a few different colors. So some actually flash a greenish color, just like this one is a green, but others are a very yellow color. And all of the lightning bugs, when they make that flash, are using the same chemicals inside to mix with oxygen. So you might notice that on our lantern here, there's some dots on the side. And those dots are there to represent where the oxygen goes through the abdomen or the stomach area and mixes with a chemical called luciferin. That luciferin and the oxygen are able to produce that flash. And what's really cool about that flash is even though we call it a firefly or a lightning bug, which are both, you think of really hot fires, this is a very cool light. And that cool light means that there's not much energy that's wasted. So when you think about a light bulb in our houses, if you have accidentally ever touched a light bulb when it's been on for a while, it can really hurt. That's because as humans, we haven't quite figured out how to make sure that our lights are super efficient the way that the lightning bug is. So scientists still today are trying to study how do they do that and how can we replicate that, because it would be a lot safer and better for the environment because you'd be using less energy to create the flash. Next time you see their flash, you can think about how much better they are at creating lights than even humans are. So that light color can help us determine what type of firefly is. Also based on the pattern of their wings can help us determine it. But you have to be pretty close for both of those. One other way you can tell is based on the pattern of their light. So some fireflies will flash twice and stop for 4 seconds. So it'll go like this. Others flash rapidly. They never stop flashing as they continue in the sky. And my favorite one to look at throughout the nighttime here in Pennsylvania is called the Big Dipper, or the common eastern firefly, and it flashes upwards in a J shape. And I like this one because it's really easy for me to tell what exact firefly it is because it has such a unique flash pattern. And then others might flash for a long time and then stop. So next time you're out looking for fireflies, try to pay attention to both the color of their flash and the pattern of flash that they're making. Now we're really fortunate here in Pennsylvania to not only have the firefly as our state insect, as Ranger Elise mentioned, but also to have a lot of different types of fireflies around. Now some fireflies are diurnal. That means that they're active during the daytime. I mentioned earlier our winter firefly that has that black hard outer wing. That one I mostly see in the months of February and March, and they're active during the daytime in even the colder months. But at other times of the year, we have some fireflies that are active only during the evening and nighttime, and those are the ones that make the flash. And our state insect, the Pennsylvania firefly, is one of those that does flash. So she communicates using that flash pattern. And that flash pattern is actually the way that fireflies talk to each other. What I find interesting about our state insect is how she communicates with the males of other species. So most species only have one type of that flash that they use, but the female Pennsylvania firefly can actually copy other fireflies' flash patterns. So what she does is she lays in the grass and waits for a male to come by, and she starts to talk back to them in their own language. And she does that to attract them to herself, and then she eats them. So the Pennsylvania firefly is very special that way. And it's thanks to third graders that we have our state insect being the firefly. They're the ones that convinced the government and said, hey, this is a really cool firefly. It's very special for our state, so all of us should adopt it as our state insect. And one of the reasons that it's so special to our state is because we have the perfect environment here in Pennsylvania for fireflies. They really like humid and moist areas with long, tall grass and with not a lot of artificial light. So even the field behind us is a perfect example of where you're going to be able to find fireflies during the months that they're most active, of late May to the end of July. And they like to perch on the end of longer grass, and they like what we call edge habitats. So an edge habitat is where maybe a mowed field or a meadow will meet a tree line. So just behind us, you can notice that there are some smaller shrubs on the tree line, and that gives them the elevation to be able to perch and look out for their other friends that they're trying to communicate with their flash.
And one of my favorite things to do involving lightning bugs is catching lightning bugs. So there are a few things that you want to remember whenever you are catching lightning bugs. First of all, make sure to wash your hands. You don't want to have any oil on your hands or maybe bug spray that could harm the lightning bug whenever you catch it. You want to make sure that you are careful whenever you catch the lightning bugs. Hold them gently. You can look at them, watch them, see if you can tell what their flash pattern is, maybe even get a look at their wings. And if you want to put the lightning bug maybe into a container to watch it for a little bit longer or a little more closely, you want to make sure that your container has some moisture inside of it. So as Ranger Declan mentioned, they love humid, moist atmospheres. So maybe put a paper towel with some water on it inside of your jar, and you want to make sure that your container or your jar has some air holes poked in it so that there's air flow inside of the container for the lightning bug. So we hope that you enjoyed learning about our state insect and my favorite insect, the lightning bug. Thank you so much for joining us.